Hello everybody and welcome back to the Tales from the Flight Academy series. So on the last episode we basically went through days 1 through 3. Here's days 4 through 8, which I guess I'm gonna cover because that's I want to do like at least 1 week every 2 episodes. So on day 4 got my student ID, and then we went to ground school, and going to ground school for the first time, and my brain was basically in summer mode. So the whole time I just I was slumped, I was snoring, I wasn't snoring, but I was tired, I was sleeping. I honestly, yeah. So when I went to go fly, I was improving, but only slightly. And what did I decide to do? Because I realized I was improving slightly, I got ashamed of myself, I got embarrassed of myself, and when I got back to my dorm, I cried. Yep, I cried. On day 5, I flew again, and I did way worse. Yep, and I felt terrible while I was flying, which made me fly even worse. So, when you're not feeling good, don't fly. That's actually a part of this checklist right here. You know what? I'm not gonna pull it up. In a time crunch here, and I don't want to drag this video out too long. So of course, what did I do after I got back to my dorm? I cried again. And then I went to ground school. I was actually late to ground school because I was busy crying. I can't handle myself very well emotionally in new environments on my own, I guess. I don't think I mentioned before, this is like my first time being out on my own, like living by myself for an extended period of time. So after that, I went to ground school, and we basically got this quiz on everything we learned so far. And I didn't do too well on that, so I went back to my dorm and I cried more. So I was crying so much, I was so emotionally unstable at that point. I was essentially done with the program in my mind on day 4. And I'm like drafting an email saying I'm ready to just drop out, like just to the instructor saying this isn't for me, I can't do this. And then I text my mom, I tell her like I'm done with this, please come pick me up. And then she called me, and then we talked, and everything was fine. So basically, to anyone out there going to college and living on your own for the first time, it is okay to call your parents if you're feeling sad. Like, as long as you're not calling them repeatedly or relying on them like every single day for emotional support. So yeah, I basically felt better. So day 6 was actually way better. I flew better, and radio calls, which I didn't know if I mentioned before, but I didn't do radio calls so good, but I did radio calls a lot better than I did before. On day 7, we ended up switching to a different plane. Now this plane is going to be very important throughout this entire series. So when I first saw this plane, I looked at it and like paint was chipped off, some of the hinges on the doors were rusty. I was looking at this plane and I'm like, wow, what a piece of junk. Like, there is no way this thing is safe to fly at all. I don't feel comfortable in this plane. I already don't like it just looking at it. And that kind of made me nervous, and on a windy day it was also very difficult to handle. So my thoughts really didn't change on that when I got up in the air. So on day 8, we basically took a break from flying and we went downtown. We saw these nice little booths. They had all sorts of different arts and crafts, weird food. It was like being at a fair, except without any of the rides or very terrible carnival games. But yeah, so once we got out of all of that, got out of downtown, we were heading back. So, one thing you need to know about me before I say this, I'm not very socially aware, or at least I wasn't very socially aware at the start of this program. I don't know if that's improved or if it hasn't improved, but basically, I almost walked into open traffic. Yeah, so, I don't know. It was weird the way things are set up. I've never really liked the concept of driving traffic, all of that, which is why I don't have my driver's license. But yeah, so that was day 8, and this is episode 2. Hopefully you guys stick around for episode 3, and I'll see you guys later.